Hey there, Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western Practical Astrologer. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be exploring the trine aspect in astrology. We'll be taking a look at natal and transit trines and trines in synastry. Stay tuned because we are going to get into it. But before we do, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button and click the bell. And if you are interested in booking a reading with me, then you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my practical astrology ebooks guide, merch, cheat sheets, all that good stuff. All the links to these products will be in the description box down below. And I also want to say thank you so much to my patrons over at Patreon for all of your support. And if you do want a new video early, ad-free, plus PDF guides and daily forecasts, you can become a patron by joining the Patreon. As always, I hope you find this video to be helpful. Let's do this. Okay, so first things first, make sure that you watch the aspects in astrology video for more information about aspects. But just to recap, okay, so to explain the trine in astrology, the trine is a 120-degree aspect pointing toward enhancement and talent between two or more planets. Sort of imagine the trine as if you were to use a planet to truly encourage another planet you have, or vice versa. And when they come together, they perform incredibly well, right? It's almost like there is this talent present, a gift, a type of skill available. The energy between the planets involved is harmonious. It feels somewhat easier, smoother, okay, when compared to the square. A smooth collaboration occurs, as if the planets get on stage and they perform a song. And that song is beautiful, it's wonderful, it's in tune, okay? The whole audience is captivated by this song. The planets join together and they want to, right? They also want to. They want to get involved together. And there is a mutual sort of purpose as well. Indeed, the flow between the planets is smooth like butter. And whatever comes from the trine really depends on the planets involved. What is not to love, about the trine? Well, this does not necessarily mean that we practice the talents that the trines have to offer us. We can be lazy. We can take them for granted. We may not want to contribute either. Think of it like this. You love to play guitar, but when was the last time you picked it up? Or maybe you love to play football. When was the last time you put your gear on and you hit the field? See, our interests are there. Yes, wonderful. But it is up to us to do something about them, to make them happen. Do we just sit on our phone all day? Or do you procrastinate perhaps and put them off? Maybe we expect others to do the heavy lifting for us. Not to mention, the trine in our chart can indicate exaggeration, both for better or for worse. This could look like, for example, us seeing a task as being way bigger than it actually is. And then we put it off because we're like, oh, that's too big. Or perhaps we consider ourselves to be more gifted, right? More gifted than we actually are. We think, I'm so great at this, I'm so amazing, only to later realize that we still got to be consistent, right? We've still got a long way to go. We got to work at it, put in the effort. You could think you're amazing at something only to discover that, yeah, you have more to learn than you once thought. And get this, But Trine has a Jupiter-like quality to it. So yes, showing up as being exaggerative, larger than life, improving, increasing. Therefore, when we put in the effort, when we don't just take our trines for granted, we grow, we expand, we increase our understanding and our knowledge of that very thing. And the other thing is opportunities. Welcomed opportunities. And we even have an opportunity to share our skills with others. Jupiter exalts in Cancer. And so perhaps trines highlight the significance of nurturing our gifts, our talents, our skills, right? When we use trines in the chart to our benefit, when we make good use out of them, we can perform miracles. We can feel blessed, and we get to create wonderful improvements in our lives. A great way to remember trines is to think of the 4 elements in the zodiac, right? So these 4 elements, of course, are fire, air, water, earth. And the 4 elements then within the zodiac are said to typically be compatible with one another. So, you know how it's often said that signs within the same elements, they usually get on really well. They can relate to each other due to them sharing the same element, but their modalities are different, inviting some useful and exciting changes to make things interesting. So a fire sign with another fire sign coming together and collaborating, there can be this beautiful flow between the energies at play. Naturally, it's not so black and white, right? It's not so cut and dry, but this is just to help you break things down. Imagine the Trine Signs as if they are partners. They truly benefit from one another. Similar to that of sextile signs. So as I was saying in the sextile video, there's this friendliness. It's this sort of buddy-buddy, bestie sort of energy. They get on super well, or they can do. But trines sort of take it all a step further and welcome talents and gifts. And as I was saying, enhancement. They can bounce off one another and perhaps finish each other's sentences. The relationship just feels easier. So just to go over the 4 main grand trines within astrology, these are the fire grand trine being Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the earth grand trine being Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the air grand trine being Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and lastly we have the water grand trine being Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Indeed, signs that trine one another can empower each other. They can amplify the elements. Then again, this is not necessarily always a good thing, right? This is because enabling can also be done in negative ways, perhaps without realizing, right? It can be innocently done. But yes, we can encourage and enable others in unhealthy ways, such as getting into trouble, breaking the law, going down a path that is not so helpful. So now you know which signs trine each other in the zodiac. Look at your placements. Do any planets create trines in your chart? Maybe you have Sun in Gemini, trine Neptune in Libra. Or you've got Moon in Cancer, trine Mercury in Scorpio. Planets will enhance and amplify each other in your chart. They will point toward potential for growth and talent. In the case of Moon in Cancer, trine Mercury in Scorpio, Moon could enhance the investigative skills of Mercury, adding great intuition, right? And Mercury can enhance the nurturing qualities of Moon, creating more compassion and empathy. And together, their talent or their gift could be that of reading people's emotions very, very well. Naturally, we also want to look at degrees, right? This is where orbs come into play, which I have made a video about orbs, but degrees can essentially help you out when exploring the strength of the trine. And also remember that trines can occur between signs which are in aversion to each other. So you could have Jupiter in Libra at a late degree, and then Saturn in Pisces at an early degree. These planets can create a trine, of course, welcoming talent and this sort of smooth mix of energies. But because Libra and Pisces are in aversion, perhaps such talents and gifts require just some extra effort, right? Because it can feel as if the planets involved cannot relate so well when compared to planets being in the same element. Similarly, the signs could square each other. So having Jupiter in Scorpio at a very early degree, and then Saturn is in a late degree of Aquarius, for instance, there could be this added tension and challenge between these planets if this were the case. Now, before we get into some examples, again, I just want to remind you, orbs are important to look at. Dignities as well. Critical degrees, day versus night charts, all these different moving parts when exploring the strength of the aspects. Just make sure that you watch the aspects in astrology video that I've made, as well as other aspect videos in this series. Okay, so let's look at the trine in the natal chart. First things first, we gotta know which planets are involved in the trine. I mean, is it Sun, trine Mars? Is it Mercury, trine Saturn? Perhaps it's Venus, trine Jupiter, like me. The planets involved matter because they show the energies that you're dealing with. So in the case of Sun and Mars, this is about the enhancement of your ego and your passions. In the case of Mercury and Saturn, the smoothness is about your mindset and discipline. And then in the case of Venus, trine Jupiter, this is about harmonizing beauty and knowledge. Naturally, there are so many combinations, too many to discuss in this video, but I will act out an example so you can sort of see a trine in action. And also, trines can occur between two or more planets. So in my chart, for example, the midheaven, which is an angle, by the way, you got to keep in mind angles as well. The midheaven creates a trine to Sun, Mercury, and Saturn in my chart. The midheaven is in Gemini in my chart, creating trines to my Aquarius planets in the 6th house, with Saturn being the same degree as my midheaven, meaning the trine is going to be extra potent. I'm very grateful for these energies because I have been creating YouTube videos about astrology for the past 8 years, and I'm very happy about the longevity of things, right? Because Saturn, of course, looks at the long haul. Still, in basic terms, a trine in your natal chart is more about how that trine displays your personality and your life's experiences. You will see the trine play out throughout your life. It's sort of like the natal placements then are a part of you, right? They are a part of your story, a part of how you come across and interact with the world. The trine in your chart can feel like the energies are in sync, okay? As if they come together and they contribute something of importance. Matters can feel smooth, easier, more comfortable. On the other hand, how likely are you to make use of the planets that trine each other? Do we take them for granted? Do we fail to truly appreciate our gifts? Are we willing to make the effort and to value what we already have? Or do we seek to move on to bigger things, which in the moment seem better, but then it only turns into the whole saying of the grass is always greener? More does not necessarily mean good or better, right? Having more of something does not necessarily make us happier. Therefore, perhaps trines in our chart also indicate feelings of contentment, being grateful for that kind of easiness, right? That ease of things, enjoying that. Hi, so I have Mercury in Scorpio creating a trine with Neptune in Pisces in my chart. And the way I would describe this energy is that I'm highly perceptive, right? I can really pick up on the nuances happening around me. I can sense things, okay? I can sense things from other people, whether the energies are positive or negative. I can sort of feel or get a feeling of what's going on. I may not be able to pinpoint exactly what it is or why, but I can just sense it. There's also this sort of gut reaction that I get, and honestly, I haven't really been wrong. I think what I've learned to do is how to listen to that guidance within. And anytime I have removed myself from a situation when I have gotten that feeling, oh my gosh, crazy things have happened. And then I hear about it later on. Though another thing is I really enjoy writing. So I enjoy writing about fantasy, horror, mystery, crime, stuff like this. I'm also so interested in these things. I love figuring people out. I love it. But I'm also empathetic toward that as well. You know, I'm not gonna just go barging in and, you know, sort of insist on what I see. I just kind of play it cool and let things unfold. And then usually the truth is revealed later on. Okay, so moving on to trine transits. Okay, so if 2 or more planets are trine by transit, this means that everybody in the world will see this appear somewhere in their chart. And when a trine occurs at the same degree, there is a shift in the cycle between the planets involved. So this shift can be harmonizing, enhancing, it can be smooth, right? Talents can be available to us. For example, take the Mars-Saturn conjunction on the 10th of April. This conjunction has ushered in a new long-term vision to do with our imagination and our dreams. And it's also about taking the necessary steps to make things happen. And at the same time, there are larger elements of spirituality involved. Well, by the time Mars enters Cancer, September 2024, there is this opportunity to tap into some healthy emotional growth and wisdom. We can welcome gifts of emotional well-being and intuitive insight, which we can help align us. It can help align us, it can help redirect us if we need it. But this is also about considering how such matters are tied to our long-term goals, achievements, and successes, which started in Pisces, April 2024. But you see, you must also consider your natal placements when it comes to trine transits, right? When a transit planet trines a natal planet in your chart, it can feel like you're being blessed, right? As if there are some skills and gifts to reach out for and blend together with your natal planets. I know for me, Mars is in Capricorn in my chart, and with the upcoming Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, well, that will trine Mars in my chart, which I'm very excited about, I gotta say, because I feel like this will welcome gifts and blessings and opportunities to do with my creative projects and hobbies, hopefully receiving greater recognition for what I do creatively. I also hope that it ushers in potential for travel growth because the conjunction is going to happen in my 9th house. I would love to see things just come to fruition, come together. The conjunction occurs April 2024, by the way. Perhaps you are someone then with Capricorn or Virgo placements at around 12 to 29 degrees or so. And so the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus will create that trine to your placements, right? Naturally, like I have been saying, it is possible that we take such opportunities for granted. We can potentially be lazy. We can potentially miss out. Or we can exaggerate what is going on. There's that. So it can be helpful to have some other aspects to maybe balance things out for us. That way we will not get too carried away. Yes, the other aspects come into play, but we are focusing on the trine in this video. Like anything in astrology, we must consider the bigger picture, the greater whole. Hi, So I've got Sun in Taurus in my chart, and I gotta say, anytime Mars creates a trine to my Sun in Taurus, so this is when Mars is in Capricorn, oh, I'm super focused, super determined. This happens about once every 2 years or so, but yeah, I'm so productive, I'm efficient, I'm dedicated, I have all of this energy, but I also don't feel as if I need to, use that energy up quickly. I just take my time. I'm already the type of person where I need to take my time. But with Mars creating a trine to my Sun, then there is this gradual approach, and it's about being in it for the long term. Anything that's hard, that I consider to be hard, I have the energy then to tackle those things. I feel like during those time periods I can really challenge myself, and there's this big part of me that wants to build. I would already consider myself to be a rather grounded, reliable, sensible person, pretty level-headed, especially now that I'm older. But Mars adding the influence that it does, I am extra mature. I feel like, do you know what? I'm being super responsible. I've got it together. I know what I'm doing. I know what the plan is. I know what the strategy is. Yeah, it can be a really useful time for me. Lastly, let's explore trines in synastry. Okay, so what I mean by this is when a planet you have is around the same degree as someone else with a planet 3 signs over from you. So let's say you've got Mars in Capricorn, and then your partner has Mars in Virgo or Taurus. Your Mars is like 22 degrees, and then your partner's Mars is about 20 degrees. So there's that trine. Your Mars signs would then create a trine to each other. This tells us something about your potential growth, enhancement, encouragement, and rewards, your blessings, your gifts within your relationship. How well you get along, how smooth things can actually be, how often you can be on the same page when it comes to things. But the trine can also show up as taking each other for granted and being somewhat lazy and too laid back. Sort of expecting the other person to put in more of the effort, right? Sure, it might feel like you can speak the same language as if you really get each other, but how likely are you to put in the work? In the case of Capricorn and Virgo, Capricorn can maybe take Virgo's helpfulness for granted. Or it could be here that Virgo takes Capricorn's dutiful and responsible approach for granted. It might feel as if all you do as a couple is discuss practical matters, as if you're always working and there is not a lot of room for excitement, spontaneity, fun, things like this. You could have other placements, of course, that balance this out or add to this. But maybe it is important to show appreciation for all of the practical things you do for each other, and to make time as well for one another besides being busy and performing your everyday tasks and responsibilities. Still, trines can make for wonderful connections within relationships. When you join forces with someone who has placements that trine yours, you can do remarkable things as a team. In the case of fire signs, okay, the talents and the flow is about your passions, your spirit. In the case of earth signs, the talents and flow is more to do with being practical and sensual as well, might I add. For air signs, the talents and flow then relates to that of socializing and bouncing ideas off one another. And for water signs, well, your talents and flow indicate that of emotional understanding and spiritual depth. Hi, so I have Jupiter in Libra and my partner has Saturn in Aquarius. So for me, I would say that I'm all about people. I'm all about making sure that everyone around me is on the same page, right? I prefer to be somewhat cooperative. I try my best to see all sides of a situation and act accordingly. And I'm also willing to negotiate. I'm actually quite gifted at negotiating. Yeah, my social skills are pretty up there with in terms of my gifts, very good. So whenever I'm with my Saturn in Aquarius partner, the thing about them is that they help me be really disciplined and help me sort of narrow down my decision making in a way where it's like, right, okay, this is the decision, this is about the long game, this is about the commitment, okay, let's go on this path. But to me, what's important is that there is that collaboration and that we both have this mutual respect, and my Saturn and Aquarius partner has that. They show me time and time again that there is that loyalty and there's that faithfulness. So yes, I'm very appreciative in this way to my Saturn in Aquarius partner for this. And then also I think they help assist me in terms of, you know, I can maybe be too idealistic, and my Saturn in Aquarius partner helps me just come back down to earth a bit. Even though at times I would say that they can be a bit idealistic as well. But I think together we keep each other in the know. We're able to sort of communicate what we see and what we really think. And I think we appreciate one another's honesty. But if anything, there is that integrity, I feel, that comes from my Saturn in Aquarius partner. Hi, so I have Saturn in Aquarius and my partner has Jupiter in Libra. And the way I would describe myself is that there's always a plan, right? In my brain, there's a plan, there's a strategy, there's a structure. But the thing about this is that I can become stuck. Whenever I get an idea in my head, I can fixate on that idea and just stick to it. This can be useful to me, yes, in terms of being disciplined. But the great thing about my Jupiter and Libra partner is that they help bring me out of that stuck place at times, and they sort of go, look at the bigger picture, look at it this way, have you thought of this, have you thought of this? Don't get me wrong, this can also overwhelm me at times because, yes, I can be stubborn. I can be stubborn. And I'm not easily swayed by other people. I prefer to do my own thing. But I'm trying to learn that, yes, being able to listen to other people's views is so important, and in fact, it's necessary. So there's been a lot of wisdom, I think, that my Jupiter in Libra partner has provided. And I certainly have learned from them how to collaborate more with other people, right? In terms of, okay, people have their views and their opinions, and they can actually be amazing, wonderful for my own sort of research and findings too. But together, yeah, we prefer to communicate about bigger things, bigger ideas. We're always talking about ideas, and we're thinking about the future about a lot of the time as well, as a couple, as a team, about what we want. And what I really, really value above all else is the fact that it is just about me and them, right? It's not about trying to sort of go over here and think about, oh, well, what's this couple doing? What's this couple doing? Oh, they have this, they have this. No, no, no. We strip it way back and we go, no, it's about me and you. Really, it's about our own path together, and I can't even describe how grateful I am for that. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video talking all about the trine in astrology. Please let me know if you find this video to be helpful. Did you learn something new? I would really appreciate your feedback, and like you, I am always learning. Again, thank you so much to my patrons over at Patreon for all of your support. And again, if you do wish to join the Patreon, the link is in the description box. Also, just let me know your thoughts and your opinions on today's video. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!